Hi. It's been a while, as usual. In fact, I think it's been pretty much exactly the usual while. It is April, still, just barely, which makes next week finals week at my college, which makes it actually probably my favorite week of college, because it is the final week, which is excellent. So speaking of college, I have 3 things to tell you about before I go off and actually study for any of those finals. The first thing is that a few weeks ago my college was giving away free plants, and so I happened to grab myself a Time Lord. Not gonna lie, I chose a time plant almost purely for its punning opportunities. Time Lord died about a week later, and then regenerated, and then died again. Sometimes plants make me very worried about ever having children. But second thing, my midterm for my Understanding Visual Arts class was to make a self-portrait collage. So I cut out magazine pictures of children's faces, and also birds, and glued them together with colorful bits of ribbon and construction paper on top of obituary clippings. This is my design. The best part was pretending that all of my reasoning was as pretentious as possible, instead of extremely last minute and making use of what was on hand. The third thing to tell you is my favorite, and it's that I recently got to give a persuasive speech in my public speaking class with the central idea that cannibalism should be legal with a license. I'm pretty sure that I didn't actually convince anyone of anything, thankfully, except possibly that I am a classmate who definitely needs to be added to that list of people whose dinner parties you never attend and car trunks you probably shouldn't climb into. I refuse to believe that I'm the only person keeping that list. My professor for that class happens to be a sweet elderly lady who, upon hearing the topic choice, reacted with, "From you of all people, Hannah," and meant it. I did preface the speech with a disclaimer that I didn't believe anything I was about to say, just for the record. Cannibalism is still extremely wrong and should remain extremely illegal, except for jelly babies. I did also recently discover at college that I will immediately respond to the name Hannibal as if it were my own, which is probably a bad sign, but mostly a sign that I consume way too much Hannibal-related media. And this is an excellent time for our organ of the day. I was very close to Googling the most delicious human organ, and then realized very quickly that the lists that would put me on are maybe not worth it. So we're just going to settle for salt glands, which are not in a human, they're in a shark and various other marine animals, but they sound delicious, unless you're calling them rectal glands. Also, can you tell I dissected a second shark recently? Now I have 2 sets of jaws waiting to be boiled in my parents' freezer. I need to go and read about marine ecology and prepare for the last speech I will hopefully ever have to give, and practice to slay the demon that is compounded interest. But really, I'm just going to go and binge on Breaking Bad some more. So, I'll see you eventually. Oh, 4th thing! I also entered my college's writing contest recently with a short story that was sort of basically kind of The Breakfast Club meets Zombie Apocalypse and Community College and near math book levels of ethnic diversity, and I sort of won 1st place. And so I finally got to buy myself a new backpack with the gift card that I won, and it fits everything, and so taking you to college with me is going to be so much easier now, in camera form at least.